All right, well, sadly, our trip has come to an end and we are home now. So we figured, why not
do a tour of our setup?
Yeah, and it'll be really cool for when we get new setups down the line and be able to compare them back to this. And
yeah,
a lot of our videos are also just for us to be able to look back on in the future. That's the main reason why we do a lot of it. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, the car is 2010 Nissan Navara D22. Just before we left, got the XTM awning. It's actually a rear awning, but if we were going to get a normal side awning, it had to be starting behind the edge of the rooftop tent, which would mean it would come all the way out here and it would just be flopping around. But I measured this out and the rear awning actually fits perfectly on the side there. Doesn't give us as much shade, but it's better than nothing. Then if we come to the back, we've got the King's Universal Tub Rack. It's just got all of these little segments where you can size it to whatever car. I've got it on the lowest height possible so that the rooftop tent's as low as possible and keep it as sleek as possible. Then we just got a tub cover that I just got off of Facebook Marketplace. We just come around the front here. We didn't do a whole lot of night driving, but these two spotlights that came with the car when I bought it and this King's light bar was more than enough for us. Then on the roof, we've just got two MaxTrax mounted from that MaxTrax brand mounts that I just drilled holes through the roof rack there and they just bolt on there. We've got the shovel, which actually helped us when we got bogged on Rainbow Beach. Both of these did actually. I guess we'll do in there last.
So in our tub, there's still some rubbish and a knife and a cheese grater. We weren't in a rush to get home at all. So we've got our two drawers from XTM that Jay got off of Marketplace. We've got our sticker collection, which we don't really know why we put them on here because we can't take them with us, but it is what it is. So this one is the full-size drawer, and then this one's a little bit smaller, but it's got the top that slides out. We've got our cooktop on top of it, and it's also got a chopping board that's surprisingly not dirty. We would always forget to clean this chopping board, and we'd be cleaning after a meal and we'd push it in, clean everything. So that you could get into the drawer. Yeah, so we could get into the drawer, and then the next morning we'd go to make breakfast and it'd still be dirty from dinner. So in our left drawer, our cooking supplies, spices, sauces, etc. So we got these little organisers from Kmart. It's got all our spices, salt and pepper, our coffee. This one's got all tongs, lighter, knives, peeler that has not been used. We had to buy a can opener because I bought a can of coconut milk that needed a can opener. Our spray oil, then we got a big thing of oil because we planned on doing a deep fried food night. That never really happened, but we got through it. Then our cutlery, got our granola and some marshmallows, and then there was 2 bowls and 2 cups in here at some stage. And then our spatulas and our pan handle. And then back there is our pan, pot, our little containers that collapse in there, and our plates. And then Glad Wrap, alfoil, plastic bags, clips, sauces, and this hot plate. I kind of stopped using it. We mainly stopped using it because of it just takes so long to cool down. So especially for breakfasts, it'd still be hot when we were packing up. And then in this drawer, we think it has some sort of organisation. It looks a little bit random. At the front, we've got our cleaning supplies. It's chai tea that we were gifted. And then it's kind of just all our dry food. I spreads. There's honey, Vegemite, peanut butter, tuna. All our cans were in here. Tea. There's a big hot plate under there that we never actually used. Oh. Bin bags, etc. So this drawer, when we would go shopping, it would be chock-a-block full, squeezing to get shut, and then it would get down sort of lower than this usually. That's when we knew it was time to go shopping. And then... So as you saw before, on this slide out here, we just had our cooker, which just 2 stove gas cooker, which was hooked up to this gas bottle here.
which was behind our jerry can of water. Just a 20-litre water jerry can. We found that that was more than enough. We were able to fill it up whenever it was getting low. And then behind the drawers here, we've got this little one stove butane cooker, which we had as a backup, and we actually had to use it when our other gas bottle ran out and our cooker wasn't working. So yeah, lucky we had that. And then we've got just like our jackets were stuffed in here from when we were in the high country. We were using them every day, and then once we got up to the warm weather, they didn't get used. Sort of same thing with my boots. They were used through the high country and then they weren't used. We've just got a first aid kit sort of down here, and our retractable fishing rod. Back here, this is our third battery, because Navaras have 2 batteries in the front, and then this is sort of like our dual battery. In the back, it's just got this battery box here, which is really cool. How here there's a few 2 cigarette lighters, and then there's 2 USBs in there, which makes it really easy to use when there's not stuff in the way. But we've just got here an Anderson plug that goes inside, and that's all the power that we used.
And a bag of recovery gear in
Yeah,
there as well.
yeah, that's right. Under there, we've just got some snatch straps and D-shackles and all of that we didn't have to use. This was our bin, which
We should probably empty.
we're not going to open it. It's still half full, but it just retracts down like that and goes in there, and then it pops up, and then you open that stuff in there. And it's actually really good. It has a lined bag in there that you just clip in, take out. Yeah, and then this was our sink. So I custom made this sink just to be able to push it out like that, and then the wood attached to it with these little L brackets means that it just slots perfectly on top of the drawer there.
Or on the side.
Yeah, or on the side over here. So, and then all of our tea towels and bug spray and
Hammock.
and the Nike hammock, which is actually amazing. Then in behind here, we've got a fire extinguisher and our diesel jerry can, which we filled up at the start and then didn't have to use it all, luckily, but still glad that we had it just in case. Then come around to this side, we've got Gracie's boots here and footy. This area here was sort of just like leftover stuff was sort of just packed in there, I guess. So footy, soccer ball, kettle. The toolkit was here, which actually came really handy. We used it a fair bit actually. This box here we've got sort of for our wet stuff. So in there we've got wetsuits, snorkel gear, reef shoes. So that's pretty much it for the tub. Oh, and Gracie's just realised I didn't even mention, I talked about the tub rack, didn't even mention the rooftop tent. We've got the King's Tourer X rooftop tent, which just hard shell, folds out as well, and yeah.
So the back of the car was our more storage, our wardrobe and our fridge. My side is empty, but we'll ignore that. We just had 2 of these cubes each and put all our clothes in packing cubes, which honestly it was like a really good system. And then we used the side bit in there for all of our jumpers and jackets. We just shoved them in there.
And we just dropped off Gracie's stuff at her house,
Yeah.
so that's why her stuff's not in there.
Yeah, and then I would keep my bag on top of here, and like we had a little bag for our dirty washing as well. And then my side of the car, this is my lovely seat that I sat in a lot. Yeah, and then in here just got all like my toiletries and skincare, makeup, whatever. Side door, obviously dropped my stuff off, but we kept our toothbrushes and our toothpaste in here, sunscreen, my hairbrush, tanning oil, stuff like that. We all just kept in here, face mask. Yeah, just some random stuff, my shell collection. And then we brought an extra pillow with us just so that it was a bit more comfortable up in the tent. So that's just stored behind here because really we could only fit the quilt and 2 pillows up in the tent when we wanted it closed to drive. But yeah.
So coming around here, we've got our fridge, which This is the King's
40 litre.
45?
45.
Something like that. We bought this while we were on our trip because the big other fridge that we had kind of did itself. Anyway, this stand-up fridge was so amazing. We've obviously just emptied it out, but yeah, we would have, that was pretty much full all the time. Then you go behind here, we had our chairs. They just sort of slotted in here nicely. Gracie's obviously has been dropped off at her house. Similarly, above here, we would have our towels and a pair of wet swimming stuff that's just drying. And then so in between the fridge and the clothes storage, there's this area which was all of our camera gear and stuff. So I've got, my bag would go here, which has got different lens in there, got the Polaroid camera, a few other bits and bobs, got the drone, the camera, the GoPro, all of that is in here. And then this is where the power comes to from the rear battery. Comes to this little board here, which has got 2 cigarette lighters here, one of which is our fridge plugs into there. And then this cigarette lighter, we've got the adapter in there because this USB-C port is the only one that would charge my laptop. There are 4 USB ports, 2 USB-C ports, which we use to charge cameras, phones, anything apart from my laptop, which was on that one. And then behind my seat, we've got these 2 fans, which we would use if it was hot in the mornings, and had a tripod behind there. And then this is the side that I spent most of my time on. I'd have my book sitting up there, out the way. Gracie's tend to put her book up there, which seeing as this
Pretty much every day.
Seeing as this has got this
Upwards slope.
upwards, the book would stay there. But hers, because it's got a downward slope, as soon as I went around the corner, the book would just go flying.
And I never gave up.
I had slotted in this gap here, I had my laptop bag, which my laptop would just slide into. Got my deodorant on hand right there. We have in the gearbox we would keep our vitamin C, which we would have every day, and sort of just like a few other things would go in here, like SD card adapters and spare storage and phone and whatever. And then for the head unit, got an Atoto 10-inch head unit. I mean, it was good enough for what we did. It got maps up, like Apple CarPlay. Yeah, and then what else is it? Oh yeah, in the center console here, we would have my wallet, but under there's sort of like our pharmacy. Nurofen, Panadol, zinc, quickies, hand warmers, yeah. So that was like our pharmacy in the middle there, and then just some cords and change in there. UHF receiver in my side door. I had got 2 multi-tools. Like this is the SD card adapter thing that would usually live in there. Fishing stuff, spare propellers for the drone, more fishing stuff, and a cologne. So that's about it for the tour of our first setup, and
Really good budget setup.
amazing budget setup, and we've got a new project.
No, stop.